All right, let's check them out. Here they are. On the left side of Sky Temple, our blue team by the name of Dignitas. We have Chris on Tyrande. We have Nurok playing Sergeant Hammer. Link playing Malfurion. Salus playing, oh geez, what's that skin?
Nazebo.
Nazebo. And Blood Dragon is playing Stitches.
On the right hand side, we have the reshuffled alternate roster. Crowley on the Rhaegar going top right now, alongside Alan, and that is Aldren on Vala and Tyrael respectively. Their skins look so similar.
Oh
Mopsio
yeah.
on Tacita mid, and finally down bottom we have good old Gluehammer on the Falstad. And this is really where you expect Falstad to be here.
Yeah.
It's going to be mid and top shrine to spawn first. Falstad's just going to be soaking XP and will fly up when he needs to.
Blood Dragon gaining control here of the Watchtower already. And usually in pub games, you see people going for the Watchtower, everyone going for the Watchtower, and then you either lose a member here early on, or lose a little bit of XP in the lanes. And this is why some teams have actually stepped away from just going for that must-have control early on. And I like it quite a bit. It's a good idea to just play it safe and not waste any XP in the lanes. Oh, Hook misses a little bit.
Yep.
Going for that minion.
So even though they have this, they have no real support in this top lane. They're really playing around a pick strategy. Our Dignitas. It's going to be Hook into Lunar Flare to try and burst someone down, while Nurok's just going to be hammering away on them. And we're actually seeing the healing totem. Is there a healing totem in there? I think there was. There's a healing totem in the minion wave there to try and keep alternate sustained up, but it's shrine time. Mid
Yeah,
and
it's
top.
shrine time, and looks like both teams are going for that top shrine. Well, not really showing anything yet. Tacita is pushing back Malfurion quite a bit in mid there, and
Yeah.
keeping him on his toes,
So
but not going for that mid temple just yet. And that mid temple is a little bit stronger than
yeah,
the top temple, since it does go for both sides at the same time.
yeah.
And
So mid temple, it's able to get the tower on one of the sides, on like the keep or the fort, sorry, so that you actually gain a little bit more XP than you would if you were to exhaust top temple of all of its bullets. And we actually see Nazebo just still sticking around in the bot lane. He feels no need to go up for this one. He's actually trading pretty well with Gluehammer here, but won't be able to get the kill. Uses his Envenom as they hit 4, but again, just not enough damage. And
yeah, Gluehammer is in
Rhaegar.
a bit of trouble down here, but he's not taking too much damage on the towers either. So he can stand his ground, and of course, Dignitas had solid control of this mid shrine all the time. So they do get quite a few shots in. At the same time, a really strong push coming out of Alternate in the top lane. Already got rid of the towers, got rid of the gate, and have done quite a bit of damage on that first fort.
Yeah, they have. And we're actually seeing a strange Rhaegar level 4 talent. As I was saying earlier, it's really hard to be a Rhaegar solo healer. And Alternate know this. They've gone for this chain reaction so that if Rhaegar heals a lightning shielded enemy, ally, sorry, they're going to get an increased heal. So he's really going to try and help out his front line here by just powering on the heals, powering on the shields, and trying keeping them alive as long as possible.
Yeah, and along those same lines, Tyrael also taking amplified healing to get a little bit extra healing in 30% of all received healing and regeneration effects.
Yep.
So they definitely know, okay, we have to somehow keep up, get a little bit more sustaining against the Malf Tyrande combo. Oh, and Tyrande going for the mule. Nice choice here, especially on Sky Temple, one of the best pickups.
So Alternate have just gained complete control of this bottom lane. They took their own easy camp and then went and stole Dignitas's easy camp as a 3-man. It was Gluehammer, Mopsio, and Krolu. They were able to take them down really quickly and force Blood Dragon to clear them, whilst creating a ton of pressure down the bot lane as well. So they've really gained themselves some freedom, and they're going to go straight for this top hard camp after it.
Yeah, really good map control so far from Alternate. They seem to be a little bit just mixed out. Really, really good teamwork so far, and both teams are incredibly even. I mean, they're just a little bit ahead. And oh, Krolu even waiting to take these
Yeah.
bruises.
So
Um,
some teams actually. Oh, that Tyrande just missing, but
ah,
some teams just wait until the shrine is up, and now you'll see Krolu take it. It's a big risk, yes, but if you get lucky with the shrine timing, it's not too big of a deal. Rhaegar was there for what, 10 seconds or so just waiting to cap it. It's a good choice, but it's just going to be hard camp versus hard camp. They're going to fight 5v5 down here, and this is where one team could hit level 10 and just turn the tides.
The nice thing is, their hard camp is actually fighting a little bit closer to the wall. Oh well, he could have taken it a little bit later, and then they would have fought in tower range.
Yeah.
But like that, they're fighting in the middle. Both teams trying to get control of these temples here, but so far it's only Dignitas that has some really, really solid control. Blood Dragon pushing everyone out here, and Gluehammer can't seem to make his move. The hook does miss, and they're just pushing them back a little bit further, and that's the problem here. In this bottom temple, you can really get pushed back. Nice route here onto Chrollo, and he's catching quite a bit of damage. Can he get away? Oh, he's so incredibly low, but he can save himself. Nazeebo couldn't, though. And Adrian blinking out of there. Alan also incredibly low, but just the ball to dash away. Blood Dragon has to get out of there. Gluehammer trying to chase. It looks like they got the best of this.
Chris will fall as well, so this is level 10 for Alternate.
Ooh, nice shot! There comes the judgment onto Blood Dragon, and he does fall, but they need to still get that gate down, otherwise Adrian might fall here. Here comes the Ancestral Healing, still keep him alive, and they get that gate down. Perfect move here for Alternate, though they need to watch out. Level 10 is now available for Team Dignitas, and they might try to push this back. Still, I have to say, I mean, they got most shots off that bottom temple, so it wasn't all too bad for Dignitas.
Yeah, they just weren't able to get anything big from it. That fort is still on more or less 100% HP in the bottom lane on Alternate side. They got the shots but couldn't capitalize on it. I feel like Hammer really should have stayed sieged for most of that, because all she kept doing was auto-attacking, stepping back. She had just stayed sieged a little bit safer. There might have been a bit more splash damage out, especially when there was the route in the left-hand entrance to the shrine on Rhaegar and Vala. That would have been an ideal position for Hammer to get some damage out. And we can see with these heroic choices from Dignitas that they're really going for an AoE sustained style of fight. We've got the Starfall, the Ravenous Spirit, and the Putrid Bile for Stitches. So it's essentially a big area that's going to have damage dealing over time. It's going to be a large area of a slow, and then you're going to have the Ravenous Spirit just doing its thing.
Yeah, and I'm really interested once that actually comes into play here. Dignitas only one level down, so that next team fight is going to decide some things quite a bit here. And we've not seen the Ravenous in action yet. So let's see, down here in the bot lane, Alternate is pushing this quite a bit with 2 Siege Giants, and only Malfurion and Sergeant Hammer are in lane right now. Are they going to finish this off? Or just let those Siege Giants go by themselves? That's it, I guess.
That's all she wrote. So Vala's now rotated up to join Mopsio in this mid lane. They're going to try and clear this one up. And we're at the polar opposites. We've got the North Pole and the South Pole. The shrines are spawning. So this is where Falstad really comes into play. Falstad could just happily sit top after now forcing Chris out of the lane. Of course, there's no fountain up there, so he has to fall back or at least sustain himself up. Falstad could take this one solo, and then we could see the rest of Alternate move down and contest this bottom shrine as a 4v4 to start, and then Falstad could fly. But it seems like they just want to take top as a pairing and just soak XP from the lanes. They know they're ahead. They don't really have to risk anything.
Yeah, that is a valid option. I would have loved for Rhaegar to just put down 2 totems to help out Gluehammer a little bit, and then for him to move down later on. But now, Rhaegar is moving down, and so is Falstad. Looks like they do want to contest this temple, but most shots, or more than half of the shots, have been gone off. And are they going to make their move here? Nurok already catching quite a bit of damage, and there comes the engage out of Adrian, and a nice shock and awe in the back there. Chris taking quite a bit of damage. He is pushed back, but they're going to focus down Linked, and he does fall. Alan trying to get out of there, but there comes the the Ravenous Spirit. He doesn't quite get him, and Tyrande does fall here later on. Mopsio still trying to stop their Blood Dragon, but even with the shield, he's catching quite a bit of damage. But that's 3 heroes down, and now Dignitas definitely on the run here. Chrollo catches that hook, but he does get away. No real follow-up. Even Adrian coming in to kill Nazeebo. What a pickup here for Team Alternate.
Yep, definitely so. It was the Hinterland Blast that came in from Falstad there. It hit at least 3 members. It did so much damage to Chris and really forced him out of the fight. He was there at the back, and they didn't care. They were happy to leave him there for a while. Just let Ardren go back and kill him afterwards while the rest of the team focused down the carries, the Nazeebo, the Stitches, the Malfurion. And it was a solid fight from Alternate. 2-level lead now, 1.5 to be fair, as they now get the bot fort as well, while Falstad finishing up off top. Tyrande can't really go in here again. It's the 1.5 level lead, soon going to be a talent lead as well, and Alternate really going to look to try and snowball from there and take the fight.
Yeah, and this is especially easy here on Sky Temple, because once you do get that level advantage, it's just so easy to hold the temples. Your opponents are just going to wait for you to make a little bit of a mistake to maybe go for 2 temples at once. Oh, Nurok catching quite a bit of damage here. Gluehammer coming in, but there's the first aid, and Vala is actually taken out with the help of Chris. Nice move. This is what Dignitas has to do here to come back. Get these little easy pickups.
They do, but these 16 talents are now in. We've got triple blood for blood, so...
Jeez.
Yeah, so much percentage health. That's going to be more or less 50% of a hero's health. Imagine that on Stitches. That's so much damage down just from 3 talents that then a Hinterland Blast will just probably be enough to finish it off. So, Tyrael's mainly going for it for the chase potential. Vala's got it for the self-peeling option, so you've got Vault and Blood for Blood just to help you get out of there. And then, of course, Rhaegar's got it for a bit of both. Help him peel for his assassins, but also try and chase down, of course. And again,
Dignitas really ballsy here, going for the steal in the siege camp. They do manage to get it, but just because Falstad was completely out of position and still trying to go for that top lane.
So again here, on the 13 talent for Rhaegar, we've got Healing Surge coming in, increasing the heal on the first target, and you add some more AoE healing in there. It gets another target. Really going for this healing style of Rhaegar that we don't see too much. I'm trying to think what talent you usually see at 13. It's the... What is it?
I'm
Damn,
not
that's
sure.
going to bug me. But
We
yeah,
can look it up in between games.
yeah, that's going to annoy me otherwise. But yeah, really going for this solo heal style of Rhaegar. Try and support his team as much as possible, as they're trying to sneak around and catch Dignitas off guard. They actually learn the return stun onto Krolu, gets hooked in, and now the Ancestral Healing being used. They're going to back out from this one.
Oh, Dignitas should really capitalize on that. Once Ancestral Healing gone, they could actually go for a fight here, and the bottom temple is coming up in 10 seconds. So it's a perfect time for them to engage. Let's see if they make it happen. Blood Dragon coming in. There comes the engage out of Adrian, but he gets out of there. And really, really solid shields here. Good work by Mopsio. Just shielding everyone and keeping them alive. But Dignitas is pushing in. And it's a perfect time. Some of these defenders have popped, but Linked, oh my gosh, what that damage output out of Adrian. And, well, Nazeebo not doing all that much. Mopsio has to get out of the fight now. But Alan trying to come in from the back here again. Chris is actually quite low, but so is most of Alternate. Just kind of push Sailors out of this fight. And that is a pretty good idea. Nurok pops that first aid, still stays alive. And Adrian popping in there once again, going for a nice little body block, going for Tyrande, and now Nurok caught out of position, and they do get him once again, and still have about half shots left here on that temple. Really nice move by Team Alternate.
Yep.
And Blood Dragon, oh my gosh, he's gonna fall here as well. There comes the Storm, and a nice little follow-up here by Adrian.
So, Ancestral Healing is actually a relatively short cooldown, and they were able to use it again at the end of that fight because it's only 60 seconds. And before I annoy myself even more, it's Feral Lunge at 13 on Rhaegar. And then
Feral Lunge,
yeah,
true.
I thought that was a 16 talent for some reason, but at 16 you usually see the Earth Grasp totem, which has the increased range on the totem and of course is a 90% slow. But Blood for Blood is understandable at the moment. They're adding more damage to their lineup, which they certainly looked like they lacked in their pick screen. But now they've been able to capitalize on that great fight down bottom with not only the Shrine, but they've now got the boss as well. And they may even look to try and take the Siege Giant camp here as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it eventually. I think Dignitas will be occupied with this boss for quite some time, but that was a really amazing fight. Did you check out how that zoning worked for Alternate? They really pushed Nazeebo out of that fight. The ultimate didn't do all that much, and then they just picked them off one by one.
Yeah, and they were able to burst down Linked so quickly that he wasn't really able to get the Tranquility off and try and heal any damage that Alternate tried to output.
Yeah, and that's the problem if we play someone like Malfurion on Sky Temple, because it's so hard to keep that overview of where your opponent is coming from, and it's really hard to zone someone out like that. And maybe they're even going for the steal, and the Bruisers here certainly gearing up to do it. There comes the
Yep.
Mule onto the Fort, which is going to keep it alive for a little bit longer. And this is going to put Dignitas in a nice position to defend their Bruisers, so it's not going to happen. Alternate instead opting to go for their own Bruiser camp,
Yep.
which is definitely the safer option here.
Yeah, it really is the safer option. They've got enough time as well. This Temples came up with 28 seconds until activation, so plenty of time for them. The question now is, are they going to be able to soak enough XP to get level 20 before these shrines activate? The answer is probably no, and they're going to maybe look to force the engage beforehand and try and burst up Chris. Ooh.
Yeah, he did catch quite a bit of damage, but does get out of there and heal himself back up. Well, they're trying to make their move. Blood Dragon goes in there again. Can't really seem to find their angle.
Yeah,
But they're being pushed out. Maybe they're actually not going for this, but instead opting to go for the top shrine. At least Gluehammer is, and I don't think they're going to fight here without their entire team in position.
yeah, it's going to be a point now where they just wait for level 20, and Dignitas realise this, and they're going to rotate straight back up because they know that Alternate aren't happy to fight in these situations. They don't want to, and as we say, that Blood Dragon is going to take quite a bit of damage, but gets healed up by Malfurion. As Alternate, they're going to rotate straight back to mid and try and get this mid. Well, they've already got the mid fort, so they're now really close to getting level 20.
Yeah. Really, really nice move here. Unfortunately, top Fort will probably fall here with the Bruises on the way and only Gluehammer defending. And they still have those shots from the temple. Still, I think mid Fort going down is going to help out, and that keep also taking quite a bit of damage. But they're rotating up again, trying to catch someone while they're retreating, but it's not going to happen. They smelled it and got out of there just in the nick of time.
Yeah, Tyrael could have judgmented if they really wanted, but they didn't have any idea when Zebo or Stitches were, so it was a pretty big risk. And this is one of the longest temple phases I've seen because they're just rotating between each temple, but Ardring gets caught.
Oh, there's the hook! Perfect hook and a nice zombie wall to follow it up with Ancestry Healing, and of course that blink out of there. There comes the Judgment onto Chris. Can they pop him? Wow, Felsa with the Hinterland Blast from the back, but they need to stop Salas. Yep, and he does it. He does it. Nice interrupt here on the Heroic, and Salas is dropping, but can he get out of there? Looks like Salas might be able to port back. Sergeant Hammer wasn't so lucky. And Blood Dragon Linked should get out of there, but this is going to be another strong push here for Alternate. Maybe they even get that keep with this push. Oh, Nazebo, yeah, actually porting out of there.
Salas is able to get out of there, but it looks like, again, Alternate with their superior mercenary control, they're just going to be happy to grab at least their own easy camp here, and they could certainly go and try and take the enemies, because that'd be pretty safe right now. 5 versus 3, I'm surprised they're not doing so. Valor and Tyrael are going to tap Fountain, and now they're going to join the team and try and force this one, which should be relatively free. Blood Dragon and Salas are the closest two, but unless Blood Dragon just lands a crazy good hook, then this is safe for Alternate. This is theirs, and there it is.
Yeah, perfect pickup. And Alternate really seems to be like a completely different team. If I compare it to the Alternate that I knew a couple months ago, and then even to the Alternate since they've been in a decline, this is a really, really nice team, and they've been working together and playing it really, really safe compared to a little bit of the, yeah, we're just going in, dishing as much damage as we can, and just hope for the best kind of style that they used to play for a while.
Yeah. And it's that time of the game again, and these 4 Siege Giants have just done so much damage. Alongside some team members of Alternate, they've got the gate. But again, are Dignitas really going to look to fight this? 19 to 21? I don't think they are, and Alternate know this. They're going to try their hand at boss, because Dignitas thought they've gone for a shrine. Nurok looked like he wanted to check that one out, but they're just going to give this to him. Tyrande now knows. They're going to get this for free, and are they going to push with it, or like, are they going to contest? I think contesting is the best idea here.
Yeah, I do think so as well. I mean, the boss is just going to do damage and is going to force a reaction out of Dignitas, which means there's at least one member that's not joining in here for the temples.
The boss could, in theory, grab this keep. The boss on Sky Temple is so strong. It'll go for the fountain first, but after that it's going straight for the keepers. We see yet another rotation to this top shrine. Dignitas are committed to this. They've just hit 20 as well.
Oh, Nurok is trapped down there. They also forced out Salus. He's not going to add it to this fight all too soon. And there's the engagement out to Link, and another nice Hinterland Blast. Link does drop. Blood Dragon pushing Gluehammer back. And a nice heal by Krolu does keep him alive. Tyrande is killed here, and Blood Dragon on the retreat. Nurok will stay alive for a little bit longer. Salus already popped his heroic as well. It's only another Napalm strike to keep Nurok alive. And Aiden still going for the chase. There does Stitches fall, and Alan coming in from the back, and even gets out of there. What a vault, and a nice shield here from Tassadar to keep Alan alive.
Meanwhile, bot lane, the boss was able to grab the keep and still have half of its HP left. Now Nazeebo and Hammer have to base.
Game.
Yeah, you've really got to think this is game here. 45 seconds on Stitches, 30 on Tyrande, 24 on Malfurion, and it was that tactic of blowing him up before he could do anything. He wasn't even able to root. I'm pretty sure he didn't even land a Moonfire in there. It was just straight up burst down. You are not healing your team. And that's one of the problems with Malfurion at the moment. If he gets taken down early on in the fight, you're A, already committed to it, so you feel you have to persist. And B, you're going to try and persist, but you're really not going to be able to do anything because you'll die so quickly. And here it is. The core taking its first damage, 95%.
Yeah, but they're not going for it. They're still choosing the safe route. This is a different alternate. I like it. It's maybe not as thrilling, but still, it's safer. It's the way you want to play this out.
Yeah, because essentially, next Temple Shrine is theirs, so long as they survive. And in fact, the next one I believe is going to be all 3 shrines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be all 3 shrines. It might not be, but it should be. As now you're going to have Falstad on 1, alternate contest in 1, and then Dignitas trying to get themselves around the map to fight this, which they just won't be able to do. So you've really got to imagine right now that alternate, they're in the driving seat. Next Temple Shrine, so long as they don't do anything wrong, it's their game.
We have double Storm Shield for Dignitas. Tyrande and Malfurion going for the Storm Shield, and of course the Hardened Shield onto Stitches. So they know we want to go for sustain as much as possible and try to stay alive in these fights. But the problem is, Alternate is just doing such an amazing job focusing down the supports and just getting them down so quickly with their spike damage. And it's always the same setup. It's always Judgment into Hinterland Blast, and they're just set up so perfectly. Gluehammer and Adrian just doing a perfect job here for Alternate.
Yes, though they've really had to be forced to take this double Storm Shield. So Malfurion's going to get shielded for 40% of his max health. They're having no trouble getting rid of 100% of his health at the moment, but that 40% might be the difference. I'd imagine it may not be.
This might be a backdoor. Alternate is thinking about it.
There's no even real need to backdoor this. They've got 2, is that? Yeah, they've got 1 siege camp and 1 catapult already in there. It's going to be joined by another catapult. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Falstad just fly top now and abandon his team, but it looks like they actually want to take this fight now.
Oh, Blood Dragon actually singled out here, but they're going for Chris once again. There's the Judgment, and Rain of Vengeance coming in as well. Oh, Link going for that fight, but he's in the middle of everything. Nurok drops down. Link was there a little bit too late, and Salus, of course, fought out there. And Blood Dragon still on the run here. Everyone of Alternate, except for Falstad, is still alive, and they still have a lot of health here. Link is going to drop, and Blood Dragon still turning around. But I think it's going to be Alternate. It just goes for the temples, get these shots off, and then go for the core. Going for 2 temples at the same time, and I think this is the perfect decision here. Krolu and Mopsio can just fight Blood Dragon and push him out of here.
Yeah, this is essentially game. GG's being called. Two temples going, hammering down the core. It's essentially you're just not able to stop it. So, actually a pretty convincing game there, coming out from Alternate. Both teams drafted a little bit strangely for my liking. But obviously Alternate, they used their comp well, they knew exactly what they were doing with it, and it really showed. That early game was strong, they had great rotations, they had great Merc control, and that really gave them the upper hand moving into that mid-late game stage.